Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to HA After Dark. Thank you so very much. This is going to be a very important segment. By the way, as you can see, my bobbleheads have reproduced. I now have Ronnie, Donnie, Ricky, and Mike. Not just joking. Who is that? Are those the names? I have little Patriot here, Alcatraz Hilly, and Elvira. But see, this little guy right here is not tall enough. I guess I could put him here, but then I would have to. Let's see. Use the force. Anyway, I'm slowly going insane. You can watch the real time. Not insane. This is just fun. I love these little bobbleheads. Anyway, first I want to give a shout out and a heartfelt thank you to Bruce Tomaszewski, who is a viewer of this channel. He's awesome. And 17 years ago, on September 11th, I read your what you wrote, and you had fellow EMT and colleagues go to ground zero, and God bless you, and thanks for everything you did that day. This is a really important segment. George Papadopoulos was set up and framed. All of it is nonsense. All of it is gossip. There is no Trump Russia. There was never any Trump Russia. It never happened. I have been saying that I'm not Nostradamus, but I do have a good pulse of what's going on. And Papadopoulos is on Hannity tonight with his lovely wife, and they completely debunk the whole Trump Mueller probe conspiracy theory. Thank you, Ben. I stated that Clinton would lose all throughout the election. I wrote that she was unelectable. I'm telling you now, the Republicans are going to keep control of the House. They're going to keep control of the Senate. Because if they don't keep control of the House, you are going to look at the economic boom that we have. That's going to stall. They're going to do everything possible to prevent Spygate and all of these things from being exposed. They're going to try to impeach Trump every single day, and their insanity will have been rewarded. But we'll get to that in a second, because every single day I state they're not going to win the House. There is no blue wave. There's no enthusiasm. And the Mueller probe essentially ended with 2 weeks in prison. And Giuliani clowned them, stating that you can get more for traffic violations in New York. Before we listen to Papadopoulos, this is what happened. And I've been saying this from day one. We learned recently that, not recently, months back, Elizabeth Voss, amazing, brilliant journalist from Disobedient Media, has already stated that Professor Mifsud had ties to Western intelligence, not Russian intelligence. There was no link to Putin. Putin didn't care about Papadopoulos or Manafort or the DNC. That's a fantasy. That's a complete and utter fantasy of the Democratic Party. They have no evidence. They had a media leaking strategy where they would go ahead and leak to the media information they wanted published, and then use that published information to get FISA warrants on Carter Page. The whole, the Clinton emails, they wanted dirt on Hillary. That's not a crime. It's not a crime to get dirt on Hillary. It's like saying you need to get dirt from Mount Everest. There's enough dirt in Mount Everest. It's not a big deal. So, orange wave coming. It is an orange wave. It really is. It's not red. It's Donnie's perfectly coiffed hair. So all of it was, how do we get this guy to be as corrupt as this Alcatraz Hilly? It was a giant, evil, corrupt, despicable, insidious cover-up. James Comey and Andrew McCabe and Peter Strzok covered up the crimes Clinton committed. U.S. Code 793F, even if she didn't mean to transfer top secret intelligence from Cyprian, JWICs, and SCIFs, she did. She did. That is illegal. That is a crime. There is a mountain of evidence. And Peter Strzok did not. Andrew McCabe did not. James Comey did not. Sally Moyer, Kevin Kleinsmith did not. Lisa Page did not. All of them did not. Rybicki, all of them. And even Michael Horowitz, the IG, did not find out how Hillary Clinton, or maybe they did, but they did not disclose how she transferred top secret and special access program intelligence. I cite Paul Sperry in Buttered Top Secret Emails. He wrote the definitive article on that in the New York Post. She might have taken photos. Her team might have taken photos, thumb drive. But there's no way to transfer. There's no way to transfer information from JWICs onto a server in her bathroom or basement, or onto a server outside the United States government that she controlled, or servers. So they covered up Clinton's emails, the mid-year exam, and they went after Crossfire Hurricane, and they still lost. Trump, Access Hollywood, grab them by the McMaster, and they still lost. 53% of white women voted for Trump. And they still lost. He was supposed to be he wasn't even supposed to be nominee, and they still lost. He wasn't even supposed to win the election. He still won. They are going to lose again in Congress. And the meltdown. I am watching certain channels on YouTube. I am watching certain channels on cable. I am watching Twitter. Be here for the celebration. It's a celebration. YouTube policies, can't say the word. Rejoice, it's a celebration. It'll be Dave Chappelle as Prince that night. Cynthia Marks, thank you so much. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia Marks. Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia. I keep telling everyone, and when I'm not on these live streams, I talk to my bobbleheads. And I say, Colonial Soldier, Elvira, I say, what are they going to do? How are the Democrats going to react when they lose the House and they lose the Senate again? What kind of epic meltdown will take place? Are they going to call Bernie Sanders supporters Russian operatives? Yes. Cold Warrior, Elvira in the house. Woo-hoo-hoo. Julio, you. How and why does someone need help getting into a vehicle? Receive yoga emails. Well, Julio, you, because you said that, I'm going to just, everyone close your eyes, all 400 people, and imagine Hillary Clinton doing the Firefly. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's look at the Firefly pose real quick, and then we'll get to Hannity. We'll get to Papadopoulos in 1 second. So what's the Firefly yoga pose? Yes. Yes. And that oh, that's so great. You know, Hillary loved to do the Firefly. That's what all 30,000 emails she deleted were about. That is tough to do, my God. How on earth do you even do that? It's craziness. Anyway, Julio, you, thank you. Alexis Evans. Alexis, thank you so much. Alexis, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Julio. My bobbleheads, thank you also. Let me go ahead and yes. Anyway, let's go ahead and listen to, thank you, Alexis, again. Thank you, Julio. Cynthia Marks, thank you. Thank you so very much, Cynthia, again. Thank you. So let's listen to this.
Campaign aide George Papadopoulos was sentenced to 14 days in jail for life.
Okay, 14 days, no collusion. No collusion, no collusion. Totally fake news. I'm trying to work on it, but it's no collusion.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen. All I can say is it's totally fake news. Just fake. It's fake. This fake news was indeed fake news.
It's fake news. Don't tell me that this was a plot to hurt Hillary, and you get two weeks in prison for lying to the FBI about nonsense. Don't say that this is like this big plot, because that is not, it makes no sense at all. But let's continue.
To the FBI, he joins us in studio along with his wife, who's been very outspoken and supportive. Simona is with us. You guys just got married.
Yeah, we did, Sean.
You married him in the middle of all this?
That's true love.
Now, that's awesome. So both of them are awesome. They got married in the middle of all of this. Okay? She didn't even know if he was going to go to prison. He could have gone to prison for 5 years. She still married him. I give her major props. I give her major props for that. And he must be a great guy also.
Yeah, that's true. And you were fighting for him on TV, which I liked a lot. Congratulations.
She's a real killer. You know, she's from Napoli. She's not Russian like everybody thinks.
I know.
She's coming from mafia land. Okay? So,
all right, easy now. Easy. Look, I don't want to go over these old interviews. What do you want the American people to know, especially about this professor? And what do you want? What do you want?
The professor from Gilligan's Island had a closer tie to Putin than this professor. You know the Gilligan's Island professor? Okay? You know that professor? He had closer ties to Putin than Mifsud. Why didn't Congress interview Alexander Dumbo Downer? I've been saying Alexander Dumbo Downer for about 1.5 years now. The chat is hilarious. I've been saying Alexander Dumbo Downer should have been, he was a complete setup. They set up Papadopoulos. It's all fabricated nonsense. Meanwhile, you have Hillary will eventually get indicted. That's going to take place. She committed crimes. And that meltdown will be of cosmic proportions. So you're going to have a biblical meltdown again, November 6, 2018. Because I tell people, look, I predicted the election. They're like, whatever. I was like, I was saying she wasn't going to win. Like, I don't care. I'm telling everyone they're not going to get the House. If they get 22 seats or 1 seat or they lose seats, I don't care. You win with a buzzer beater, you win with a last second field goal. Just win, baby. Joe Sia, thank you, Joe.
The American people to think about your experience with Robert Mueller, how you got tied up in this. I was all over the campaign. I never met you that I know of. And I'm like, who, George? Who? You were in one meeting with the president or then the candidate. Did you ever meet a Russian?
Never met a Russian official in my life. Knowingly, no.
No. Tell us what you.
He never met a Russian official in his life. The guy never met a Russian official in his life. Again, Papadopoulos never met a Russian official in his life. And then you get the New York Times. Trump falsely claims Russia investigation started with the Steele dossier. Don't you know it was started with the gossip from Alexander Downer? Stupid Trump. They have lit or gaslighted or whatever, however you could say it. They have deceived themselves. They are so deluded that they have eaten up. They drank all the Kool-Aid possible. They are so utterly corrupt. They don't realize that the Steele dossier and allegations against Carter Page and all the information in a Steele dossier, they say, well, some of it was corroborated. No, things that had nothing to do with collusion, nothing to do with any criminal activity, like some meeting, like a meeting took place with Carter Page and a Russian energy official. So what? There's no evidence of anything, and everything else that was stated, all the grandiose claims, there's zero evidence. In fact, BuzzFeed is getting sued by a Russian entrepreneur and by Russian bankers. And they're suing the DNC. BuzzFeed is suing the DNC. The DNC is actually spending money to defend itself from one of its leading voices, BuzzFeed. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this again. Scott Bigler. I wish PDOP would have withdrawn his plea so we could find out sooner all evidence that debunks this myth of a case. Exactly. Exactly. Scott Bigler, exactly. Cynthia Marks, have a great, great evening. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Sovereignty 1008. So all of this was complete and utter nonsense. All of this was just smoke, no fire, no nothing, no evidence. Who is Source D, the man said to be behind Trump Russia dossier's most salacious claim? Oh my God, Source D? This is the Washington Post. Who cares who source D is? Julian told several people that during the campaign, the presidential transition, he was in touch with George Papadopoulos, campaign foreign advisor, according to a person familiar with the matter. No. They keep on talking about Papadopoulos. This was in 2017 in the Washington Post. He's in the dossier. And they published this, the allegations by Million. So, a Belarus American businessman. Okay, so it's all someone's opinion. The allegations by Million, whose role was first reported. This is the Washington Post in March of 2017, when Democrats were just wanted revenge for losing. Whose role was reported by the Wall Street Journal has been confirmed by the Washington Post, were central to the dossier compiled by the former spy. Who cares? Christopher Steele, while the dossier has not been verified, yeah, you can't make claims without verification. Could you imagine? There was money, millions and billions of, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars flowing into the Clinton Foundation. And a positive transaction always takes place for those who give money. And oops, they can't. It's all coinky-dink. Don't you know? Haiti, weapons deals, uranium one, Boeing, UBS, Chicago Commodities Trader, Morocco, all of these scandals, all of these quid pro quo arrangements were all coincidence. 156 million, and she meets 85 donors who gave 156 million. It's all a coincidence. There is no way to prove anything but fiction, pure fiction. No money transfer into the Trump Foundation. No, nothing. They don't. The NSA is moderately confident. The DNC never even let the U.S. government touch its servers. They outsourced a firm called CrowdStrike that was linked to Hillary Clinton. She paid for the firm through her law firm. She funneled money through her preferred law firm. I've been saying this for 2 years almost now. And everyone runs with it. And at the end of the day, after 2 years, Papadopoulos gets 2 weeks in prison. Because Manafort actually committed crimes, but they were crimes that had nothing to do. Every single lobbyist in DC, probably, like very wealthy lobbyist, has that. Does those things, commits those acts. And I always say, Manafort should never have gone. You never go full ostrich jacket. Don't do that. Okay, that's how they got Aldrich Ames. Just live life normally. Julie, Ken, thank you. Shana Tova to you. Thank you and your family. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Julie. To you and your family, Shana Tova, and Happy New Year to everybody. Even Jewish, not Jewish. The Jewish New Year, so Happy New Year to everybody. But never go full ostrich jacket. Don't do it. I don't care if you have 20 million in the bank. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, there's a place in Beverly Hills he went to. What was it, like 10 grand for a suit, $15,000 for a suit? You're not going to get a better suit. I mean, honestly, after let's say it's a tailor, he charges, okay, with the finest fabrics, it's the best tailor. Okay, he goes and, I mean, 5 grand. I mean, are you going to get anything more, like any better of a suit for over 3 or 4 grand? I mean, even that's expensive, but 20 grand for a suit? Why do that? So they got him on that. They're like, look at the ostrich skin. He's got the Armani sunglasses. Look. If he just went ahead and spent $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 for a suit, that's a lot of money. He wouldn't be in jail. He wouldn't need Trump to pardon him, which, by the way, Trump will. You want to wear a Rolex, fine, but you don't need to go ahead and buy the ostrich jacket. And it's like $15,000 for a jacket. Okay. A $500 jacket is a pretty expensive jacket. You don't have to go 15 grand. But anyway, the point is this. They got Manafort for something that has nothing to do with anything. No collusion. No collusion, no collusion. They are going to lose, and it's going to be so savory and delicious. And we'll all be here. Bobbleheads, everyone. That'll very likely be well over 2,000 people watching on this channel. Anita, be safe. Florence, Hurricane Florence, if you're in the East Coast, North Carolina, South Carolina especially, be safe. If you're anywhere near the coast, just leave. You know, take a 4 or 5 day vacation if you can afford it. That's what I would do. So the 500 people, if you're in North or South Carolina, take a vacation. You know, you don't need to mess with Florence.
Tell the American people what
this is important.
You want to tell them about your story and your experience.
Yeah, so, initially when candidate Trump was very vocal about wanting to work with Russia at some level, I basically thought it'd be a good idea for him to meet Putin just for a photo op. That was the basic understanding. I meet this...
So it's not that big of a deal. Like, Papadopoulos had no idea that Crossfire Hurricane was being fabricated. Like, this is not... If you are Papadopoulos, you're a low-level, up-and-coming, political person. You want a life in politics. You want to go ahead and start advising people in politics. Fine. And you start off and, your first foray is you're, a low-level person in the Trump admin. And then the next election, you might move up. And then the next election after that, you might find another Republican, whatever, or even a Democrat. And his idea was, look, whatever, a photo op with Putin. Okay, well, you sold uranium to Putin. Everyone thought that Hillary was going to win. Every electoral college model showed Hillary Clinton winning the electoral. No one was talking about Russian Facebook ads. Isn't that interesting how nobody was talking about Russian Facebook? So Russia and Putin were not on the radar. They weren't on the radar. So this guy's like, look, you know what? You want a Russian reset like Obama in 2008? Go ahead, prove it. You can go ahead and get a picture with Putin. Okay. Then all of these people start coming into Papadopoulos' life. He was completely set up. The notion that anyone should take, and I kept saying this for 2 years, 2 men drinking, 3 men, 4 men, 5 men drinking, and talking politics. I have never had a great time talking politics with drunk men. Ever. It's not a good idea. It's not a good. I've never had a good time. That's why if I'm with the boys and I'm having a beer, I don't talk politics. I don't care. Like if they say something bad about Trump, I don't open my mouth because I don't need that stress. If they come at me, oh, you're a Trump supporter, huh? You Trump supporter, huh? I don't respond. And then we talk about sports and it's fine. You know, it's if you have Trump derangement syndrome, if you're with people who have Trump derangement syndrome, it's not your job to fix their lives. They're going to have the most epic meltdown on November 6th, 2018, which, by the way, to the 530 people watching this right now in the middle of the night or close to, do you want Nancy Pelosi? Close your eyes right now. Close your eyes. Let's do this. Close your eyes. Do you want Nancy Pelosi? Imagine Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Imagine Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House. No. G-Man. It just writes no. Close your eyes, everybody. Nancy Pelosi winning. We won. We won. Impeach, 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 impeach. I almost barfed. Could you imagine Joe Scarborough, Nancy Pelosi, all of these people with a victory lap? We did it. We did it. We got the House on pure hate. We got the House of Representatives off of pure and unadulterated hate. And the Mueller probe, we body blow in boxing, like Roy Jones, he would get the kidney punch, The best boxers work on the body, not just like an uppercut. They work on the body. That's what they were doing. The media, body blow, body, getting, again, never ending. Mueller. Do you want Rachel Maddow and Debbie Wasserman and everyone else to do this victory lap? To where they say, oh, we won, we did it. Oh, I love Roy Jones. I love Mike Tyson. Joe Frazier, of course, Muhammad Ali. Everybody loves Muhammad Ali. Joe Louis. I've been reading a lot. I mean, everybody loves Joe Louis, but I was reading a lot about Joe Louis, and a lot of boxing aficionados say that Louis could have beaten Muhammad Ali. So I don't know if you have any thoughts. Ken Norton was great also. But do you want them? So no. So let's just keep going.
Professor randomly in Italy, who he presents himself as some sort of high-level base.
So hold on. He meets this Mifsud guy randomly in Italy. Okay. So this, I believe, is part of the dossier also, which implicates Carter Page and Papadopoulos and Manafort. And there's zero for the major claims. When they say, it's so deceiving that when they say, well, some things have been verified. Yeah, but the major claims, just because there are certain things verified, doesn't mean that the major claims have been verified. The major claims of the Steele dossier are not verified. The Steele dossier talks about Michael Cohen, Paul Manafort, George Papadopoulos, and Carter Page conspiring with Russian intelligence. All of those four major claims never happened. That's what the dossier was about, a grand scheme. And WikiLeaks. It's complete and utter fiction and nonsense written by Bill and Hillary. It's gossip. It's just gossip. I mean, do you want Nancy Pelosi taking a victory lap? I don't think you do. Make sure you are registered to vote in your district. Floyd Patterson was amazing.
I meet this professor randomly in Italy who he presents himself as some sort of high-level connected figure to both European governments and to the Russian government. All of a sudden, he introduces me to a girl who he calls Putin's niece. She's not Putin's niece. I don't know who this person was. He then can't introduce me to even the Russian ambassador, which I wanted to meet at the time in London. He then introduces...
You thought you were doing what the campaign said they want, which is better relations with Russia.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
So a guy meets a professor. Okay, he might as well have met the professor from Gilligan's Island. Larry Holmes, very underrated. Brian Murphy. Larry Holmes was like a decade. Wasn't he heavyweight champ for a decade? Like 11 years. Larry Holmes was great. Larry Holmes fought Mike Tyson for 4 rounds, I believe. So, and he was like in his 40s, or yeah, I think so.
So then, yeah, exactly. So all of a sudden, one day, out of the blue, he drops his bomb on me about emails. I have no idea what he was, where he got this information from. He said he was coming back from Russia. I never saw emails. He never told me where the emails were. He just dropped his bomb on me, and then he just went his own way. So I don't know what his purpose was. It was incredibly shady. And to this day...
And the whole thing is they tried to go ahead and decriminalize Clinton's emails. Power stroke, dude. Hey, HA, nobody wears a watch anymore, dude. Just busting your chops. HA, love your show. Power stroke, dude. Power stroke, dude. How do you tell the time? I guess smartphone. Power stroke, dude. Thank you. Thank you, Power stroke, dude. As always, thank you. So, Papadopoulos, the Democrats, see, what the Democrats do is they take these cherished ideals that they have, like, oh my God, in Helsinki, how dare Trump not punch Putin in the face for hacking the DNC, which we have no evidence of. Oh my God, Trump Jr. wanted Clinton emails. That is against all human norms. No. No, that's not what happened. That's not the case. It's perfectly fine to find out the extent of Clinton's criminal behavior. If you can get your hands on Clinton's yoga emails and you're working for the Trump campaign, then you do so. Thank you, Naomi. If you can get your hands on the Trump campaign, if you can get your hands on Clinton's emails and you're working for the Trump campaign, then you do so. But they're like, oh my God. You want to, and I love how, like, what they say, like, Trump is, like, what they accuse Trump of is so stupid. Like, and aid and comfort to the enemies. How? By giving them uranium? No, by not being mean to him at the Helsinki conference. What? That's so stupid. Who believes this nonsense? My bobbleheads have more gravitas than Joe Scarborough. Okay, this Alcatraz Hilly. Okay, got to find a way to put this guy. Where can I put him? He's even scared of her. Elvira's used to, like, monsters and things, so that's why I put her next to Alcatraz. But let's continue.
Professor, though, before your sentencing came out and said, no, you had never talked about these things.
And you know what? His lawyer just a couple days ago went on CNN and said he might have been working on behalf of somebody else.
Why did you apologize for lying? Did you consciously lie?
During that meeting, that January 27th, 2017 interview, I did consciously lie. It was
Why? Why would you lie? Because it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong in what you knew. Did you know anything that was illegal?
All I can say about this, I didn't plead guilty to collusion. I pled guilty to lying, and everybody makes mistakes, but certainly I wasn't pleading guilty to any sort of
When
collusion.
you lie, people think you're lying to protect somebody. Were you lying to protect anybody? The campaign. Why did you feel a need or a desire to lie?
Looking back, it was a chaotic moment.
The guy was a young campaign worker, and he probably figured, hey, they don't know. And the thing is, all they had to do was call up Mifsud and say, well, were you at this location? And if he wasn't at that location, if he was just, someplace else, then it would have been, a lie. But I love how lying to FBI agents is a crime, yet Strzok can go ahead and just try his best to influence the election, and, that's okay. Give me back my chat, Ozzy J. From Papadopoulos, Fox interview sounded like Downer slip propaganda roofie. P.S. Free Assange. Love from Australia. Absolutely. Give me back my chat, Ozzy J. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. Free Assange. He should be free. But this is all coming out.
And sometimes you make mistakes. That's all I can say about it.
All right. Now, you have an interesting story, Simone, in terms of this professor. How did you meet him, and what you found out things that I didn't know about him?
Well, it's actually I shared those information with the FBI and the Congress, but none of them quoted me apart from my interviews on TV. I met Professor Mifsud at least 5 years ago through the head of the socialist group at the European Parliament. He's a professor at the Link campus in Rome, which is a partner of the company's director of in London. And this company, this university trains secret services agent of type Western intelligence. He's also member of the Clinton Foundation. He claims to be a member of the Clinton Foundation. He has
So Alexander Downer, we know Dumbo Downer. I've done a lot of Dumbo Downer. We know very well that he's been tied to the Clinton Foundation. We know that we've known that for over a year now. And so, it's so overt. It's such an overt setup. Like, you couldn't even make this up. Like, if you just wanted to go ahead, it's an overt setup.
Clinton Foundation.
yes,
Donated to the Clinton Foundation?
yes, twice. It has been proved that he donated. Yes, exactly. So my point, as
The professor and Downer, wow.
always been, how the profile of this professor and his background fits with the narrative of the Russian agent. There is nothing that leads to believe that he's a Russian agent, as nothing leads to believe that I'm a Russian spy. Everything seems to me so fabricated, so fictitious.
It is fabricated and fictitious. Only an insane, deluded imbecile Democrats would believe it. I love the double standard in terms of logic. Like, overt criminal behavior, not just with one scandal, like the server unencrypted with top secret intelligence. Forget about that. Like the Clinton Foundation, they're probably going to go ahead and indict Clinton eventually on the Clinton Foundation because it's overt. She overtly took money. And the International Business Times the story was written by two people who don't like Trump at all. They're like Democrats. They broke the weapons deal story. That was obvious quid pro quo. countries got even greater amount of weapons deals from the Nobel Peace Prize winning president than a neocon in Bush. And all the neocons slithered into the Democratic Party.
And it's just insane. And as I said, I was a witness in the case, and I shared this information as direct witness of this person with both the FBI and the Congress.
You faced 5 years in jail over this. Do you think you were set up? How did this professor get into your life? How did this guy from Australia all of a sudden? Did you know anything about the Clinton emails that were going to be released other than what was in the public domain?
Of course not. I mean, the only thing I knew was probably what everybody else was speculating at that time was that Clinton's, Secretary of State server might have been compromised. That's, what was going through my head. And, I met all these random people in London. London was a very strange city for me during those months. That's where I met the professor. I met Downer there. I met Halper there.
Stephen Halper? Are you kidding me? Guy gets $1 million to spy on Trump's campaign. What they did to Trump was evil. That's it. Like, it is pure evil. What the Democrats did to destroy people's lives, I don't care about Manafort's like ostrich feather jacket. They destroyed his life just for political retribution. And they have nothing. They have no other way to hurt people. After the midterms, they're not going to win. Okay. They're not going to win. I can tell you right now that, like, I still, which is really funny. Like, there are people on the left that still put me, like, on, allow me to see, like, what they're thinking, whatever, on certain social media sites, like private messages and stuff that I'm, like, a part of. And I see what, like, people on the left are thinking. I don't ever, like, they know I'm there. And it's interesting. They still, keep me there. Give me back my chat. Ozzy J, Mrs. Downer, Mrs. Downer Jr. is the Aussie arm of DNC. Wow. And Australian libs are in zombie lockstep with. Well, they're just a bunch of, they are just a zombie lockstep with DNC libs. Here we're power drunk and selling out to Hillary. Yep. And they're power drunk. Deputy the Dog, thank you. Yes, give me back my chat, Ozzy J. They're power drunk. They don't know how to wield power. They have no concept of wielding power or influence because their power is derived from Hillary, who is a sloppy drunk in every way, in criminal, sloppy drunk, political, everything. But I can tell you, I've heard the phrase from people on the left when they're talking in private. You know what? Anyone's better than Pelosi. Even a Republican. There's no blue wave. They keep on saying enthusiasm. There is no enthusiasm. There's no enthusiasm on the left. Every day you type in Trump, like on my phone, because my phone has different searches. If you type in Trump, do you know what you get? Let me type in Trump. It's like all of these doomsday scenarios. Trump pays sober tribute after to 9/11 after Russia tweets fist pumps. Like, okay. And then Trump's approval rating just sank in 8 polls. So what, Vox? He won with 60% of people having a negative view of him. He won on November 7th. On November 7th, 2016. The next day was election day. He had a 60% disapprove. 60% of Americans had an unfavorable view of Trump. But I was always saying that his favorability ratings are different. What makes this guy liked is the fact that he's belligerent. What makes this Hilly Alcatraz disliked is the fact that she always lies about being, surviving Bosnian sniper fire. And it's just like repulsive to many people. He won the presidency with a 60% disapproval rate, or people having an unfavorable view of him. So you type in Trump and you get every single negative story, and still the economy is doing well. And still, this is the most important poll. And I explained this to the 618 people watching. I was published yesterday in the Daily Caller. Please go ahead and share my Daily Caller article. Please go ahead and share this article, because very proud of it. And I'm on RT saying Republicans will keep control of the House and Senate. Oh, G. Taylor, I got to thank HB. G. Taylor, thank you. You know what, G. Taylor, I'm going to thank HB right now, on DM him right now and thank him. I didn't know that. That's very cool of him. I DM'd him the article. That's very, very, very cool of him. So G. Taylor, I'm going to thank HB right now. I'll thank him. Thank you for reading. DM him right now. And you know what? I'll just tweet it out. On Twitter. So red wave. Red wave. Is there an orange wave? Orange wave in November. Yeah, baby. I like that. Great news. My buddy Sean just... Giuliani back. Eddie Edwards wins pivotal New Hampshire House race. Wow. Very great. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. But here's the article, everyone. And 85 to 90%. Let's share it again. Frank, I am feeling the huge red wave. People are forgetting Trump is about to go on frenzy rallies to inspire everyone to vote red and flip votes. Yes. P.S. What's up with the Elvira doll? The Elvira doll, I just, Kiyoshi, aloha. I don't know. I just figured, what better bobblehead than Elvira? What the heck is Bolton doing? Crimes against humanity? Yeah, Bolton, yeah. Well, that... not a fan of Bolton at all. Frank, thank you so much. The Elvira doll, I just, I don't know. I think I love Elvira. So let's go ahead.
You know,
The alert, you like gin and tonics, and you were a little drunk when you were talking to Downer.
You know what's interesting about that, Sean? I've never, admitted to remembering anything talking about that. I remember a lot about that meeting. I remember the context about that meeting, and it was done under extremely suspicious circumstances.
You were suspicious. You thought you were being recorded.
I was so suspicious that I actually notified the FBI when I was talking to them that I thought that Downer was recording me with his phone illegally. As we all know, the Five Eyes.
He notified the FBI of the Downer meeting. How can you start an investigation when the suspect allegedly... How can you start an investigation when the guy who you suspect of nefarious activity is notifying you? So when they say, the Steele dossier didn't start it, it was Papadopoulos. Yeah, Papadopoulos apparently started it by calling the FBI and saying, oh yeah, this guy is very suspicious. I mean, if anything, Papadopoulos should sue. I don't know if you can, but I mean, there has to be some kind. Carter Page should definitely sue. Carter Page was like set up beyond belief.
Country member, meaning Australia or the UK, is spying on an American citizen. It's illegal.
Something that a lot of people don't know, and that information gets shared, doesn't it? And that's a way to spy on people, keeping your hands clean, isn't it?
I don't know. All I know is, if one of our five-eyed allies are spying on Americans, it's illegal. So whatever he was doing, I felt the need to notify the FBI about it, and I did.
How was Mueller and his team to you, both of you?
To me, were intimidating, mostly when this is something I never said. After my interview, they came to see me at the airport while I was boarding to my flight to Rome. And for an Italian tourist on visiting United States, is extremely intimidating.
I've got to run. You could have spent 5.
So it's like, it's so overt. It's so overt. They should go ahead and another thing. If Democrats win, you can say goodbye to any truth regarding new Strzok Page texts. The whole thing will be legitimized. Brian Murphy, I am a big Elvira fan. Big Elvira fan. Love Elvira. But what they don't understand, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Republicans are going to keep control. Republicans are going to keep control of the House and the Senate. Just look at these dumb polls, too, which is hilarious. Oh. Okay. Eric H526. Oh. Okay, I apologize. Michelle, my brother-in-law passed the citizenship test. Congrats. Congratulations. Fantastic news. Excellent. Michelle, congratulations on behalf of everyone here. I apologize. I didn't see your message. Frank. I actually like it, by the way. Oh, Frank, thank you. Appreciate it. Yep. The interesting thing, one of the reasons they're going to win, one of the big reasons, is that Trump has, by one measure, the second highest rating of any politician, of any president within his political party. According to Axios, even higher than JFK and Eisenhower. He was at 87% in that Axios. In my Daily Call article, it's 85%, but that's 85% ties in with JFK and Eisenhower. Republicans are fully behind Trump. So these stupid generic polls, it's not going to, these are Republicans voting in Republican districts. Republicans voting in Republican districts. They're not going to allow a Democrat linked to Nancy Pelosi. You're not going to get 23 examples of that. You would need a real blue wave. This is how I know the polls are cooked and completely lame. You cannot have, you have an Emerson poll and then a Grinnell Seitzer poll. You cannot have a poll that says Democrats up 13 and then Democrats up 2. You can't have an ABC poll that says Democrats up 14 and a Rasmussen poll that says Democrats up 4. If Democrats are up 4 going into November 6th, they're toast. Toast. But check it out, ladies and gentlemen. This is really, really important. This is how, one of the reasons, in addition to the favorability rating, in addition to the favorability rating, this is really, really important. And when we go ahead and when Republicans keep control of the House, we can go ahead and go back even to this segment. I mean, I say it every single segment. But there's an ABC News poll, August 29th, Democrats up 14. Then there's a Rasmussen poll, August 30th, Democrats up 4. That makes no sense. Frank Carter Page is going to be very wealthy soon. I hope he does get wealthy. I am actually looking at the witch Hillary next to Elvira. Makes Elvira look like a goddess. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank. JZTV, Drain the Swamp, Exposure Font. Thank you, JZTV. Thank you, JZTV. Greg Fernandez, thank you so very much. Thank you, Greg. JZTV, thank you very, very much. As always, I appreciate that. Frank, I'm glad you like Elvira. I got Elvis coming. You know what? I got the Elvis, 70s Elvis. With the white suit. Eric H. So, thank you, KQ. Thank you. How do you go from 14 to 4? How do you go from 13 to 2? Okay. Here, I'm going to read you 4 consecutive polls. Democrats up 14, Democrats up 4, Democrats up 13, Democrats up 2. How does that happen? Because the polls are cooked. This is called public relations. They say, well, you know, the outlier, Democrats up 2. They're not really up 2. It's an average. No, they're probably more up 2. Because it's a good economy. It's the economy, stupid. It's people, the number one concern The number one concern of voters, always, no matter who the president is the economy. The number one concern of voters always is the economy. And the economy is doing extremely well. Democrats are going to lose again. And they are going to set their sights on Bernie and Bernie voters, and they're going to jettison Medicare for all, and they're going to attack Bernie. They're going to do him dirty like they did the Green Party because they're evil. The meltdown will be catastrophic and joyous. The meltdown will be delicious. The chat is pretty awesome. The meltdown will be the biggest meltdown you've seen ever since the election night meltdown. Lawrence F., you're a good man, Mr. H.A. Goodman, excited to share this moment in history with someone as open-minded and genuine as you. Thank you. Lawrence F., thank you. Thank you, Lawrence. And I'm very, very happy to share this with you and everyone here. There has to be a refuge where we can just relax and unwind and just the propaganda you're seeing, it's not real. This is even more overt than the Clinton propaganda because you have a great economy here. Like I was saying, you know, Trump was going to win if it's Clinton. And I was saying that, but I'm even more certain of this. I'm most certain Hillary will eventually get charged. That's, you know, that's going to happen eventually. But the entire structure, that's why they're actually, what they're doing is counterproductive. They're hurting themselves. Every single day is a hit piece. Every single day, the hyperbole is beyond all rational thought. So in addition to the fact that Trump has a 90% approval rating within the Republican Party, 85 to 90%. In addition to the fact there's a great economy, well, so in addition to the fact you're going to have Kavanaugh confirmed, which is another victory for Republicans, 2 Supreme Court judges, and late October, you're going to get the third quarter GDP figures. You're going to get the third quarter GDP figures. It could hit 5%. You're going to see like a lot of politicians, America was never great. America was never great. America was never great. Lawrence F., it's going to be a fastball, low and inside. He's going to pull it. I've seen Ryan Sandberg hit a home run. I saw Kevin Mitchell hit a home run back in the day. I saw Mark McGwire hit a home run. I saw Mark McGwire in Dodger Stadium hit a check, and I'm not joking, a check swing homer to right. A check swing homer. Basically a check swing. Like, basically. Who else did I see? I've seen a bunch of people a lot of people hit homers over the years. Don Mattingly. Love Don Mattingly. Love Don Mattingly. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you very much. The Papadopoulos thing was completely and utterly fabricated. Be here on November 6th, 2018. Lawrence F. YouTube policies, but duly noted. Lawrence F. Lawrence F. Thank you. Frank. It's the economy, stupid. Well, I'm sick of Trump calling the investigation. Oh, that's right. Oh, Bill Clinton. I got it. Okay. Lawrence F. Frank. Smokey over the line. This time I worry the meltdown will turn violent. It won't, because they don't believe in the Second Amendment. So what can they really do? This time I worry the meltdown. Oh well, dude, go have an In-N-Out burger for me, preferably the one on Radford. Thank you, Smokey over the line. In-N-Out is great. I might just have one tonight. Smokey over the line. Thank you. Thank you, Smokey over the line. Thank you so very much. Omar Pena, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. God bless. The House is going to stay Republican just because Democrats up 14, Democrats up 4, Democrats up 13, Democrats up 2. No. Democrats up 9, Democrats up 5. It doesn't work that way. Because they're trying. They're like, please, this is there. Can we just get one poll with Democrats up 56? I just need one poll. If we can get Democrats up 78, the average would then be Democrats up 13, 14. God bless everyone. Good night. And thank you so very much. Every single day from here on out, I'm going to let everyone know Democrats are going to lose. Wrong. Right. Trump said, right. The Democrats are going to lose. Because they will. God bless. Thank you so much to my super chat. Thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. Hit subscribe. Hit subscribe right now. I will see you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you very much.